Without any further questions, everyone wakes up the next morning to find that the ship is still and the sun is shining, and you hear the sound of birds and voices outside. You wake up and you go up to the top deck to find that you have been moored in a tropical cove here.
Ooh.
Does everyone see the scene change?
Yes.
How did the twinsies get on land without a dinghy?
They may have taken a raft to the land. So you can see on the shore that left boot Bill and right thumb Tom are engaged in a animated conversation with an older, motherly, matronly-looking woman. Left boot Bill sees you guys come up on the deck and sort of wades you over. Um, Within the cove, you can see a peaceful campsite. There's a number of people sort of working on daily tasks. Stinky Pete is on shore playing with a couple of children.
Aww.
And it's kind of an idyllic scene.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm going to kind of toss the ball to you guys and say, what would you like to do?
Can I jump in the water and swim? No, I don't want to swim towards the kids. They get creeped out. Who are those two gentlemen behind the boat on the land?
They look like they're fishermen. They're casting nets into the water, but when they pull up the nets, rather than catching fish, they seem to be pulling in these thick, verdant coils of seaweed.
I'm gonna go after them.
Go ahead and give me a swim. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, you can swim over to shore.
Okay, great.
If you'd like to go ahead and move yourself over there. The two men greet you warmly, and they are like, welcome to our peaceful cove. Be at ease here.
Can they speak
Hey,
Fishbone's
what's up?
language?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so they say that, and you don't have any idea what they just said. But they seem friendly. They're smiling, and they're kind of nodding at you. They have like a friendly connotation to their voice.
Should I go over and
Okay.
be Fishbone's mouthpiece?
Fishbone!
Sure.
Okay, so I will go over there.
Would you also give me a swim
can
check,
you
please?
tell them?
Oh, I need to swim?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. Swim. Ooh. I was clicking on the wrong one, sorry. Uh-oh. Oh.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
You arrive on shore without an issue.
Can you tell them I'm hungry?
Fishbone hungry!
Oh, of course, of course. They gesture toward the main camp where Bill and Tom are talking to the older woman. They gesture in that direction, and they're like, please, please go. Be welcome. Food, drink will be brought to you.
Okay, so we swim back to the ship, and then walk across the ship, and then swim back over.
So I will point out that the dinghy has been upgraded to fit 4 people as well.
Ooh! Okay. Okay. So, what would you like?
Before we move, can we just ask them, can we eat that seaweed? Like, what's up with that seaweed, dudes?
They look expectantly at Ophelia.
Oh, sorry. Can we eat the seaweed?
Certainly, certainly. I don't know if I'd recommend it raw. it could use a little curing first.
We'll make some
But
sushi.
you'll find
wrap it up.
You'll find it's very
Okay.
it's very nutritious and sustaining. Everything that we need is provided to us by this cove.
Okay.
I'm already creeped out. Let's
You gonna
go.
tell Fishbone that?
Just Fishbone. We can eat it, but we need to cure it a little bit.
Please don't eat it right away and start glowing
don't
green.
eat it yet. But we can eat all of it. It's very nutritious.
Let's not throw up on these nice people.
Apparently, this tiny cove offers everything we need, which is very nice. Yeah.
Let's jump over to Brody. Brody, what are you up to over there?
Brody is hollering to everyone, "Hey, let's get on the boat and let's go see that wise old lady next to the left and the right."
Next to the left and the right?
The left and the right. The
Oh,
Left
you're...
hand, left
Yeah.
hand.
yeah.
Is that-
Left nut Tom and right ear Ron.
Right wing Ron.
Oh.
Bill and Tom.
Bill and Tom. Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
4 spots and there's 5 of us. I'm gonna just swim. Should I do a swim check again? Or...
Yeah, should we go in the dinghy or should we just try to swim it?
I'm just gonna swim it.
You should be able to control the dinghy if you want to go ahead and paddle it over there.
Okay.
Whoa! Uh-oh.
Yeah, Amaranth, you don't need it because you're a water animal.
Yeah, let's jump
Yeah,
over to
it's fine,
Amaranth.
just leave,
So
it's fine.
Amaranth, the scene is as I said.
Yeah. Amaranth has had her fair share of meeting people lately. And there's a lot of folks on shore, and she's just not about that. So she's gonna stay on the boat for now. And what she would like to be doing, and honestly, so I meant to chat with you earlier about this, DM, but I would like to have been working on trying to communicate with Gerald and see
So-
if it's
Gerald is being very fussy.
okay.
You're unsure of why, but he's being kind of a handful. He's kind of whiny. And he's looking
Okay.
at you with that
Squall
big tip
shot him
eye.
with an arrow? Is it
Is
because
Ger-
Squall shot him with an arrow real high?
Gerald's the mimic?
Yes.
Okay.
And if okay, so then a couple things. If I like let him go, does he just wanna does he try and run off anywhere? Does he just
No,
is
he
just
stays by
being-
your feet and he's looking up at you and whining. He kind of like licks his lips and like pants a little, and then whines.
I'm gonna okay, if I hadn't already, I'll see if he wants some rations and some water.
So you try to feed him rations, and he sort of like gobbles it up really fast, and then and spits it all back out, and looks back up at you and makes another pitiful whine.
Okay, so then okay. I would like to either see if I can dive out really quick and either gather some of that raw seaweed or catch a fish.
Sure, go ahead and give me a. You can easily. You have a swim speed,
Yes.
so while everyone else needs to make swim checks, Amaranth, because she has a swim speed, she can swim as easily as walking. So there's a couple different skills that works with. So you can have a swim speed, a climb speed, or a fly speed, and that makes it so that instead of needing to roll on those checks, you can just sort of do it as if you were walking across the ground. Now, if it was in the middle of like a huge hurricane, then
Right.
she might still need to make swim checks depending on what she's trying to do. But in this case, the cove is completely still water. It's very peaceful here. She's able to just as easily as walking, hop in, swim around, and come right back out. So go ahead and give me a perception check or a nature check. Nature check would actually be better.
Not for me. So if perception is much better for me, can I just take a perception check?
Of course. What I mean to say is that a nature check would be more
Whoa.
effective.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so there's huge biodiversity here in this cove. It's very rich, very fertile. The seaweed that they're gathering, you recognize the various species of kelp and seaweed that they're gathering, and you know that they're very nutritious. Your own people in Storm Shoal cultivate a very, very similar strain, and it's sort of like the wheat of the ocean. You know, it's an all-purpose material. You also take note that there's a very, very large number of fish here in the water, but they don't appear to be fished or farmed in any way. It looks like the people who live here are just focusing on the plant life.
While she's in the water, I'm gonna shoot the mimic.
Are you serious?
No, not really.
Okay.
So,
I would
You
like
are-
to snatch up a fish
You're
then.
able to. What's that?
I would like to snatch up a fish then.
Certainly.
And I mean, depending on how long you I have here, try and like just toss it, like I guess.
Again,
snap its
Gerald.
neck, like
Do you kill the fish?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
No,
kill
what
the
are you
fish.
doing to my friends? I can hear him screaming.
Sorry,
I speak
Brody
fish.
is Aquaman.
I forgot.
I yell in a I'm sorry in into the water.
Were you about to say that Gerald doesn't eat that either?
So when you toss it to him, he gobbles it up and spits it right back out again, and whines even more pitifully at you.
Oof.
Squall's gonna pipe up here.
He's vegan. Gerald is vegan, I think.
What are you doing?
He's upset.
It's
And I
a
can't-
treasure chest. Why are you feeding it food?
Please tell me I'm not supposed to give it money.
You're the one who brought it back on the boat.
I mean,
Gerald whines and nuzzles your leg and looks at you with like this stare of please,
Amaranth is gonna
please,
take
mother.
out a silver.
Gerald gets really excited.
His food is coming out of your share, so you know.
Thank you, Squall. She's gonna give Gerald 2 silver.
He gobbles it up and nudges your leg for more.
Oh no! How much copper do I have?
You done did it now.
I believe every character should have a small amount of starting gold.
I do, and I guess I want it to be copper. Like, if possible, can I break it down into smaller?
He seems uninterested in copper.
Fuck off!
And the silver seems to be barely doing it, to be honest.
I'll flick him a gold piece then.
He eats it up and gives you a satisfied burp, and then sort of does like the spin 3 times in one spot and lays down for a nap. And by nap, I mean he closes up and just looks like a chest.
Fuck me. Okay. Well, I guess that kind of answers my question. I was gonna see if I could work with Gerald to turn into something other than a small chest, but it sounds like that's not gonna work. Is that correct?
Maybe in the future.
Okay.
Right now, he's snoozing fondly.
Well, just for the DM's note, that is something that I'm gonna continually be trying to do in the background.
For sure.
Okay,
Mr.
cool.
Squall, after helping Amaranth with her mimic issue, what are you up to?
Squall is going to do what he usually does, which is climb up into the rigging up to the crow's nest, and just keep a general eye out on the cove and the area around it. I want to
Sure.
know.
Give me a perception check,
Wait, sure, 1 second.
and then you can tell me what you're looking for specifically based on the check.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
Go ahead and tell me what you were looking for.
Apparently, my trousers.
Well, you know what, Squall? You've been around, and you've never heard of this place, and you've never seen this place. And getting up and taking a good look around, if you want to zoom out a little bit, you can see this is actually a very sheltered cove. And the people that live here, Squall, these aren't your typical Shackles brigands or Shackles pirates or swashbuckling sailors. These look like normal people, and it looks like they've found like a really truly hidden spot, and they've got like a little camp going. And I mentioned to Amaranth the great biodiversity in this cove, and you can see as well that there's like a huge, like, it's kind of teeming with life. It's very fertile, and you're a little taken aback. Like, this is a really nice spot.
Yeah, it is. Nonetheless, gonna hang out up top and just keep an eye out, watch the movement of people, and look for anything that looks like it might be threatening.
Yeah, so you're up there, and you are definitely keeping your eye peeled for danger or for threats. And you notice that the 2 fishermen on the shore are kind of like chuckling in your direction and like shaking their heads, and they're like, "No, not here. This is a peaceful place." But they certainly won't try to stop you though either. Okay, so let's go over to the group on shore over here. So Ophelia, Brody, and Fishbone, as you approach, you can see Tom and Bill engaged in conversation with this woman. That she's an older looking human woman. She has a very like motherly appearance, and as you guys pull up in the dinghy, she waves you forward and she's like, "Welcome, welcome. Please, my dearies, come ashore. Welcome to our sheltered cove. You're with friends here, and please, make yourself at home." And she sort of waves, and these people these other islanders approach, and they have trays of food. They've got pineapple, bananas. They've got a species of berry that you've never seen before. They've got that seaweed, but they've got it like cured and dried. Um, they've got coconuts for drinking. They've got fruit juice, and they're like, make yourselves at home. You can rest here, and anything. Our cove is your cove.
So before anyone does anything, I ask right boot Thumb and left boot Tom, how did we get here? Where are we?
So Bill and Tom both explain that this is a sort of a hidden place that they've known about for some time, and they trade here. Like these people have been trading with fishermen or merchants that they trust. And Claudia, she introduced herself as Claudia, the matron, agrees, and she explains, we all came here, we all came to the Shackles, or were forced to come to the Shackled Islands, and to escape the brutality, and the depravity, and all the harsh, realistic living, life on the sea, and we came here to find a sheltered place to call our home where we can live in peace. The cove, the island and the cove, they provide much, but they don't provide everything. So we trade what goods we have with the few merchants and fishermen that we trust. In particular, our island has a source of fresh, pure water that we trade with traveling fishermen and traveling merchants that we've come to trust over the years to trade with us.
Okay.
And Bill
That's
and Tom both
important.
nod, and they say, in fact, that's we're here. We're going to be trading this fishing equipment that we brought with us, and what we need you intrepid adventurers to do is take these 2 empty barrels to the clean waterfall to load up
Ooh.
on our refresh our water supply for the ship so we can complete our journey to Port Peril. And Claudia says, you're welcome to rest here for the night. We're gonna have, we'll put together a celebration in your honor. We'll play music. There'll be food. And in the meantime, you're welcome to explore our island and make yourselves at home here.
Okay.
I don't know about the
Uh,
rest of you guys, but I'm getting big waves of do not trust this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget, you can also make sense motive checks on any of the stuff that I've said.
Okay. I am going to look at the water and talk to the fish and say, should we be worried about anything, my fishy friends?
Give me a D100 roll. The higher the number, the bigger and smarter the fish you get. The lower the
Okay.
number, the smaller and dumber the fish you get.
Oh
Can
my
we use the
goodness.
thing over there?
Roll a 3, roll a 3, roll a
Please,
3, roll a
please, I
3,
wanna
roll a
see.
3.
Yeah!
Look at
You
you!
got Sure.
So there's a passing pod of dolphins, and one of them veers off and comes up. I really wish I had a dolphin token for you. Unfortunately, I don't. But one of the dolphins
Everything.
comes up,
Two gophers,
Oh,
sure.
and he,
like Mr. DM,
Dolphin
I
aren't fish.
did get a whole bunch of tokens that I can share with you after the game.
I would love that. I always love having extra tokens. But
Admittedly,
this
fish
dolphin,
folk.
who he comes in, he pops his head right up, and he's like, "Well, hey, how you doing?
What's
you,
up? So we
Were
just
you
got
looking to
here.
speak to me?" I'm like, yeah,
We just got here, and
yeah, nice place. Welcome.
yeah. Do you know anything about this
You're
place?
not from the Shackles, are you? I haven't seen you around. I feel like
No.
I know all the Aquamen,
Yeah, no. Listen, I mean,
Oh, the Aquaman.
they know me too. I'm known around some ports. But
Go on. Did you have a question for me?
yeah, I mean, if you'd stop talking, Mr. Dolphin.
There's no need to be rude, friend.
um,
Listen, you called me here.
Brody, chill out. I'm
you,
sorry.
you guys can't understand me. I'm having a
To
conversation.
everyone else, this is literally like an.
Yeah. So, are you from around this area, or do you know anything about this cove?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life.
Okay. Is there anything that we should be worried about while we're here? Is there any nefarious going on in this cove, or is it as peaceful as
Well-
it looks from the surface?
I heard that sea turtle Chuck is cheating on his wife with a manatee.
Okay.
Pretty
Well-
nefarious.
How does that even...
People. Ask about the people.
Also, I just want to say, I cannot get out of my head the scene from Ace Ventura where he's like, you have to talk to it in its natural language.
Okay, you've been no help. Hey, listen, you don't
Don't make enemies.
of the dolphin?
Yeah, I don't know. He could know some other stuff. You got a
listen, if you could
98 roll.
I'm happy to help if you just be a little more specific.
Yeah, be specific.
Is there any skeletons at the bottom of this cove?
He like thinks for a second and he's like, give me 1 second. And he like disappears below. He's only gone for like maybe 60 or 90 seconds and he comes back up and he's like, no, everything's pretty squeaky clean down there.
Okay, pretty ocean-like down there. All right, man. Well, we're gonna be heading to Port Peril after we get some clean water, apparently. So yeah, maybe I'll see you out there on the water.
Yeah, I'll see you around. Not if I see you first.
Since
And
you
if
were
you
so
see
rude.
a big great white with a chunk taken out of its right fin, she's looking for me. You never saw me here.
Oh, you're talking about Frank?
Frank's her husband.
Oh, that was you? Oh man, this guy. Hey guys, this is the guy. Frank's wife. Like 3 other dolphins jump and they're like, whoa, you animal.
Oh, Brody.
Let's go, come on.
Come on.
He's like, hop on, let's go.
No. I'm gonna stay here with these people.
Oh, boring.
I can't
All
breathe underwater.
Ugh, lame. Okay, well, you know, they'll leave like, technically neither can we. Be a sucker.
Goodbye, and thanks for all the fish.
Ophelia and Fishbone, do either of you want to take any actions here? Again, Ophelia, I seem to recall you're pretty not trusting in general. You've had some trust issues in the past. Do you want to roll a sense motive on any of the stuff that was discussed before? Not the dolphin stuff. You can't. There's no sensing what just happened there.
I wanted to roll a sense motive on this older lady.
You cannot use sense motive on things that do not make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What can I use it on?
Oh no, he's talking about the dolphin conversation.
Dolphin
You
conversation.
can absolutely 100% use it on. So is there anything you want to ask Claudia specifically and then get a response and sense motive on that response? She's like, oh, how can I help you, dearie? You look like you have a question. Would you like a coconut?
I always want a coconut.
They've got like a coconut with a straw and a little umbrella in it.
Of course I want that. I don't know if I want to do like sense motive on a coconut with a straw in it. I just want to see if this area is safe, I guess, for all of us to like rest on.
May I?
Can I do that?
Well, if you want to interject, you probably would need to move closer to the land.
No, I meant
Unless
out of-
you want to.
out of
Oh.
character.
Sure, of course.
I'm on the
I
land.
think- I think for sense motive, you can use it just to get like a general hunch for a person, right?
Yep.
Because I'm
absolutely.
right
You
next to
can-
the lady.
Yeah, I was just saying if she wanted to ask a specific question, get a specific answer, and then sense
Okay,
motive on
yeah.
it, she could do that. Yeah,
Okay.
you can also just sense motive on in general everything.
Can I
whichever you
ask if
prefer.
it's safe for us to stay here for like a day? Like to rest and all that?
Claudia nods and she's like, "Yes, absolutely. Tom and Bill have been coming here and bringing us fishing supplies, and we've been trading them clean water for a number of years now. We've hosted many of their passengers over the years.
Okay.
Some of which actually like stayed here, and they loved it so much that they just sort of stayed on. Most of our people here were travelers at some point, drifting, really kind of without a permanent home, and they just sort of they found themselves here. Fate brought them here, or luck, or fortune, and we really strive to keep it peaceful. We also keep it very hidden. We don't communicate or trade with just anyone. Our cove is very sheltered, and we don't give it any name. We don't assign it any name. A name can become a rumor. A name can be sought out. A name can be scried. So we just call this home, or we call it the cove. And you can sense motive on that.
Yeah, I definitely want to sense motive on that.
Yeah, everything that she just said rings true.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring the boat over and we'll load up these barrels. Ophelia. And
Yes.
Fishbone, was there anything that you wanted to do on shore? You guys can go ahead and move yourselves in the dinghy over to the back of the boat, and we're going to do some strength checks to move those barrels.
Hey,
Bill
was
will come along
thinking
to
that
kind of
I'm-
supervise.
I'm not gonna look at some tents.
Bill won't be doing any of the work, but he'll supervise it. He's like, your goal is to put clean water in these 2 barrels so that we can continue our journey to Port Peril. Your quest, should
Bill.
you choose to accept it. I'm sorry, Fishbone, go ahead.
I was just saying I was gonna look in some tents, maybe without anyone noticing.
Sure, do you want to roll a stealth check? Let me know
I
which
would
tent
love to roll.
specifically. Let me know which tent specifically you're kind of poking around at, and then give me a stealth check, and I'll let you know.
Maybe this tent.
Go ahead and roll stealth. You're pretty confident that you managed to like slip away.
Oh, okay. Good. Can I look
Are-
through anything in the tent?
Yeah, are you looking for anything specific, or you want to just give me a general perception roll?
Well, I don't know many human words, but I think you said that some people got there because they were lucky or that they had a fortune.
Or fortune brought them there. So you heard the word fortune, and you were like, "There's money
Yeah.
here." Yeah, that's how you're
Yeah.
looking for it. You're looking for valuables.
Yeah.
All right, go and give me a
Yeah.
perception roll.
Oh, a perception, not a sleight of hand. Oops. Okay.
Perception is seeing it. Sleight of hand is taking it. So
Whoa.
with your 19 perception, you unfortunately are very disappointed to find that nothing in this tent is what you would call valuable. There's no coin, there's no precious metals, there's no gems, there's no jewelry. You're kind of like tearing apart a sock drawer, and you're like, "The fuck is this? Where's all the stuff?"
Hmm.
We're gonna jump back over to, let's see who hasn't acted. Ophelia and Squall. You guys, what are you guys up to?
I guess.
Sophie, after you.
Yeah, we haven't done much. I kind of looked to see
I'm sorry,
what
I meant
was
to
going
say
on.
I meant to say Amaranth and Squall. I'm gonna
Oh,
be having
sorry.
Ophelia do a strength check. I'm sorry, that's my mistake.
all good.
Amaranth and Squall. So you guys
Amaranth
sort
and
of...
Amber are pretty similar. I said my real name. Jay, you're gonna have to take that out or whatever. I don't know.
Jay, edit that out. Mark the time.
Take that out. Take that out. Take that out.
So Gerald is snoozing. Do I have a little thingy I can put on him to show he's snoozing?
Oh, that would be so
Little-
cute.
Don't actually edit it, just like insert a funny word over the names.
I meant like the little icons. He's at snooze times right now.
Oh, that's adorable.
Amaranth is still just sort of, I mean, it's just keeping an eye on everything and everyone and kind of watching everybody's comings and goings. Still not really interested in hopping off the boat, going to talk to anybody exactly. Although if she sees Ophelia and Brody going off over to the waterfall, she will probably also join them.
Mhm.
And what she'll do in the meantime is squirrel Gerald away somewhere comfortable and a little out of the way. So maybe.
On the boat or on your person?
So I haven't really gotten a good idea of how big he is. I imagine he's kind
He's
of.
like the size of a jewelry box.
Have I gotten an idea of whether he's okay with being in the water?
Unclear.
I'm just gonna keep him on the boat for now.
Okay.
I don't want to wake him up, so I'm gonna like wrap him in a little cloth and set him somewhere cozy, and pat him on the head.
Squall, are you doing anything?
Skull's gonna hop down and move over to the back with them. What's the plan then?
Apparently, we have to get fresh water to make it all the way to Port Peril. I thought I paid for a journey. Apparently, now we have to work.
Bill's like, working was always part of the deal.
Yeah, we just worked for that ghost ship that you guys sailed us into. Great job, by the way.
Oh, quit whining. Let's get to it.
Fine.
All right, so we take these
We gotta
barrels.
roll. We gotta roll.
So to
strength.
move the barrel, we're looking for a strength check to pick the barrel up, and another player can assist your strength check, and we're looking for a DC 5 to carry an
Ooh.
empty barrel. Pretty easy for the empty barrel. It'll get harder once they're full of water, though.
Uh-oh.
Yep, so you just kind of throw a barrel up onto your shoulder, and you're good to go. We can move that barrel right down into the dinghy. Boom.
Okay.
Who's going to move the next barrel while she's doing that?
Brody.
Brody.
Go ahead and roll. Nice strength check, Brody. Brody, you're also able to pick up a barrel and get it into the dinghy.
Ooh. Look at us.
Do you guys want to come with us? We got to go all the way to the waterfall, and who knows what type of nefarious things are on this island. Dolphin says it's safe, but
So it looks like you're not going to be able to get the dinghy through these kind of sharp, jagged rocks into this tidal pool over here. So it looks like what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to park the dinghy up here and then roll or carry the barrels down to the waterfall.
okay.
Okay. Oh no.
Amaranth, give me a perception check.
Hey.
Ooh.
Amaranth, you are pleased to note as you get closer to this campsite that these people appear to be vegetarians. Everything that they're serving and offering is all, like I mentioned before, fruit, seaweed, very rich diet of green seaweed and yellow fruit.
Wonderful,
Okay.
beautiful people.
Okay, so barrel moving. So you can make a DC 5 strength check to carry the barrel, or you can make a DC 5 acrobatics check to roll a barrel. And they're easy to roll and carry when they're empty, and those checks are going to increase exponentially once you start filling them up with water.
Okay.
what I'll do is make
Can
sure
you
guys
tell
can-
Fishbone to join us, please?
Oh,
Fishbone,
what are you
Fishbone,
up
can you
to?
help us out with this, please? Fishbone,
Yeah, I'll help you out.
my friend from long ago. We would love your help.
And
Squall's just
I
gonna.
say, hey, girl, I'll help you out.
All right, there he is.
Okay. And then, how do I roll that?
It's roll strength, right? Just gonna
Yep,
carry
so
it
we're
right
looking.
Okay.
now. A Fishbone grab the other one.
Okay, so you guys should be able to control those barrels. So you guys can go ahead and move them halfway here to the waterfall. And then what I'm going to need you guys to do, the people who are carrying the barrels and the people who are rolling the barrels, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Okay, moving these barrels is hard work. The day is hot as the sun's rising into mid-morning. But you're, how did you draw? Okay, so Ophelia, Ophelia, you're feeling a little winded, and you're feeling like you're a little fatigued from rolling that, from carrying that barrel, and you feel like you need to set it down for a minute.
I'm glad my old friend Fishbone is there.
With the sun in the tent.
Hmm.
So we're going to need 2 more checks to keep the barrels moving. Ophelia, you are currently fatigued, so if you participate in this check, you're going to need to, on your character sheet, click on the conditions and click the fatigue condition. But I think there's enough people that probably you could take a breather for the next roll.
Okay.
All right, I got an 8. You said it only needs to be
First.
5, right?
We're just looking for a 5.
Fishbone, you got the other one.
Yeah, I'm rolling it.
Yeah, you did. You got a 10.
Yeah.
As you guys are going by, like there's like these 2 children that are playing with Stinky Pete, and they're waving at you guys, and they're kind of like looking at Squall kind of funny, like they've never really, like maybe they've never seen a Tengu before, or they're giving you kind of like a side. Actually, they look at Squall kind of funny, and then they see Ophelia, and they're like, they look straight up, like whoa, like looking up at Ophelia.
Do I roll for intimidation?
Oh my gosh, you gonna scare the children?
Maybe.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll. What do you say?
I say, what you looking at? Like that type of thing.
And they seem unfazed. They're like, yeah, yeah, scared of you adults. Meh. But Stinky Pete kind of puts a tail between his legs and runs away, remembering his previous tail
Aw.
injuries around you
Aw,
guys.
poor little
Stinky
baby.
Pete.
Poor
Stinky Pete flees the
baby.
area. But these kids are like kind of making faces at you now. Ophelia, they're like,
Ophelia, stop playing with the children. We have to roll these barrels. Catch your breath and do some work. You're the biggest one here. We lost Harker to the seasickness.
yeah, Harker is throwing up in the lower deck of the ship right now.
Poor Harker.
Squall is going to pull out his longbow. He's going to grab the kid's attention and he's going to point at like a something up on the cliffs, like a leaf or something along those lines. You see that up there?
The kids are like, uh-huh.
And then
Yeah, so we'll say that there's like a coconut hanging from a palm tree, and you're able to easily pierce it and split it in half with an arrow. And both of the children are like, wow, Mister, that was awesome. He's like, hey, Timmy, put one on your head. Have him shoot it off your head.
Oh God.
And they
maybe
start like
later. I have
pointing
to
at
help with these
various objects.
barrels.
Oh, can you hit that? Oh, can you hit that? One of them points at Ophelia and is like, can you hit her?
Are they
I
Timmy
could,
and
but it wouldn't
Jay?
be advisable. All right, kids, I have to help with these barrels, but perhaps I can shoot something more for you later.
They both like skip away. They're like, we're children, we're children, we're children, we're children. All right, you must gather your party to continue.
Okay. And okay.
Amaranth, are you going to be joining?
Please, Amaranth, come with us.
Amaranth's shy. She waits.
Amaranth,
Leave.
we may need your help up here.
I'm here.
You have
Can
so many
Amaranth breathe air?
special, wonderful skills that we could use.
Amaranth can definitely breathe air,
Okay.
but she does move slower on land. So so her movement speed is what your swim speed normally would be. She just doesn't have to make a check for walking, which is good.
Yeah.
Is there anything I could do to like carry her? Or
You
one of
gassed
us?
out already.
I know I did guess that already, but I'm
The important thing about Amaranth is that you have to soak her for an hour every day or she starts to dry out.
Ooh,
You
it's a
stole
music
this
change.
music from Zelda, you thief! You thief! Copyright infringement.
So you guys
Oh
arrive at
no,
the
my
waterfall.
YouTube video.
You're gonna get
Oh, I didn't think about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm
No,
just
no,
joking.
no. This is my favorite music. Keep it.
So
It's
you guys
wonderful.
arrive at the waterfall, and sure enough, as promised, this is like the most beautiful, perfect, clear water you've ever seen. It is really a sight to behold, and just being in its presence, everyone feels sort of calmed and relaxed, except for Amaranth. Amaranth, can you give me a perception check?
Oh no, Amaranth.
Yes. Hold, please. Okay.
So Amaranth, there's kind of like a slight change on the wind, and you hear kind of over your left shoulder, almost like a voice that's like, Amaranth. And it's
Nope.
coming from this direction.
Nope.
No.
What's going on, Amaranth? You look terrified right now.
Amaranth, are
Nothing.
you okay?
No reason. No
Are you
yep,
sure?
everything. I'm just gonna. I'll be right back.
Can one of us follow her? Can I follow her? Just to make
Yeah,
sure
you can
she's
follow her
okay?
if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's gonna follow Amaranth?
I'll go.
The two of you?
Or is it? Hold on. I just want to check my perception. Ooh, I'm a -1 perception. Am I gonna mess that up? Should someone else go?
Yeah, the whole party will follow. This way,
You guys
guys.
can leave the barrels behind if you want.
Amaranth's running away from the one task that we had, and she's
If you
running
vanish-
deeper into the island.
If you vanish on this island, I'm throwing that mimic overboard.
Come on, team.
Come on,
Uh,
Fishbone, let's finish these barrels.
All right, so you guys are gonna work on the barrels, and these three are gonna go investigate Amaranth's mysterious sound. Not a
Well,
problem.
Squall's gonna work with the barrels. I don't know about Fishbone.
Fishbone, you and me,
Fishbone-
bud.
Fishbone weighs 36 pounds, and I'm pretty sure a full barrel's gotta weigh more than 36 pounds.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not
that'll
going
be.
to do them alone.
We'll visit that in a second. So hold on just a second. Let's.
So Amaranth, if she sees Ophelia and Brody are following, is just going to say, just really, just checking. Did you hear something just then? Just other than me?
No, we.
No, but we trust your instincts and perception about feeling a little off, and we would like to help in whatever way we can.
No, I'm
Thank
just
you.
staying with the strongest people in the group.
Oh, huh.
You guys cross a short stone bridge to a small rocky outcropping. It's like an island, but it's really more of like a rocky outcropping. It's kind of overgrown with trees and vines. Amaranth, as you step across to this little island, you hear it again, and you're in the wind.
Hmm.
Um, just as a real quick, like I'm gonna cast detect magic.
You don't detect anything magical outside of whatever magic items you guys might be carrying right now. Did you take those boots, Ophelia?
I did.
Those boots detect as magical, Amaranth.
Cool.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna point at him and say, nice feet walking things.
Hey, nice boots. Nice what?
Feet walking things.
You like my feet? Creepy.
Is this
Aww.
the appropriate time for the "what are those" meme?
What
Yep.
are those?
I was just gonna do.
Alright, so detecting nothing magical that is immediately concerning.
But my feet detect something magical, right? Or no?
As in,
No.
your
Your
boots
boots
are
are magic.
magical.
Oh,
Boots that
okay.
you picked up. I don't know if you put them on or not, but the boots that you picked up from the mimic's remains, those detected as magic when Amaranth sort of used her second sight to
Okay.
observe the area around her.
Okay. So I follow her.
I guess we're going deeper into the island.
Look, I didn't ask you guys to follow me. I just decided to investigate something that was mildly creepy and concerning.
No, I trust. If your instincts are saying that something is creepy, I will trust your instincts because I think that will be helpful for the whole team.
Amaranth, as you approach this, so you're walking on this overgrown stone path. Like this was once a paved area, but it's now kind of overgrown and forgotten. Many of the stones have been broken up by plant life. As you come up to this, what was once a staircase, and now it's kind of like a crumbly climbing surface. That wind around you actually stops. There's zero wind here right now.
I don't like that. Gonna keep going. And keep going.
Everything's very peaceful. No wind.
Mm,
So as you approach the clearing, everyone who approaches the clearing is going to see that there is a 12-foot tall statue of a figure here. And everyone can make a knowledge religion check if they have the knowledge religion skill. And Amaranth, you're going to know right away that this is a shrine to Hashura, your elemental patron slash deity. I'll just do this real quick. So the shrine itself looks like it's very ancient. It was probably built a
Look at
long
them
time ago.
tits.
Um,
Sorry.
let's see, what do we got for knowledge religion rolls? Ophelia. So Ophelia, do you have the religion skill, or is that just a roll, like a blind roll? You would know
I
if you
just
have the skill
rolled.
because
I just rolled.
okay. So Amaranth, you know that Hashura ascended into the form of pure elemental storm and wind many millennia ago, and it has been since like the early days of the Earth, since she has walked as like in a mortal form. But this shrine appears to be dedicated to that mortal form, which means it's probably very ancient. The stone itself doesn't look like any stone you've ever seen before, and even though the shrine is overgrown, the stone has endured the elements over the millennia and is still completely intact.
I'm gonna ask Ophelia and or Brody if either of them would go get Squall and Fishbone, or
I'd
at
be
least Squall.
happy. I'd be happy to go get them.
Don't make that face. Look, do you have a background in religion, Fishbone? That's what I thought.
And I'll put you guys on the.
1 point in that, so the joke's on you.
Yeah, I have 1 point, but
shit,
there's no
excuse
check.
me.
I don't know.
Why are people assuming that Squall knows anything about religion?
I'm not assuming that you know anything about religion necessarily, but you have like a knowledgeable background, I feel like.
I have a knowledge history, but that wouldn't.
You can make a knowledge history roll, sure.
Okay.
Brody, you came to the shackles because you were very specifically looking for ancient artifacts. You're more interested in the ancient Cyclops kingdom of Golgon. But here is officially your first ancient artifact ever. It's a 12-foot statue of some sort of strange mer woman, maybe mer woman.
Merman. Merman.
But here you go. This is ancient stonework in real life, in the flesh, in the stone flesh.
I mean,
You think about your grandfather and you wonder
Yeah.
what your
Oh, yeah,
grandfather's
yeah.
first expression
So
was like.
I guess we don't know what's in my grandfather's journal, but I run up and I wonder if my grandfather saw this, and I start, just
I have to draw this.
rushing to find a blank page in my journal
Yeah.
to write about it, and
I mean,
Did somebody actually go and like acquire Fishbone and I? Is that why we're here now?
I brought you guys over. I'm gonna assume that they called out, and you guys have the option of coming up if you want to. Anyone who, once you get to the sort of top of this precipice, anybody can very easily see that this actually was once a built-up area. You guys are walking on flagstones that have been overgrown. There was a structure here at one point, but over time and erosion, the structure has collapsed down to the foundations, but the actual statue itself remains fully intact, and nearly flawless. It's overgrown, but certainly not blemished in any way.
I mean, Amaranth is pretty excited to see a physical representation of the lady that she worships, so she's just gonna kind of walk around the statue and whisper to herself a little bit and see if,
Huh.
I don't know, see if this is the source of what was whispering?
Cool statue. Nice tits.
Right?
Talking about the
Well, you
birds
and
that are
me.
nesting, the birds that are nesting in her hair. Amaranth, you feel an almost like electric energy around you. It's almost like the statue is humming. It's like, and the intensity begins to increase. And everyone sees Amaranth suddenly become rigid, like her whole body locks up. And Amaranth, give me a will save.
Okay. Don't like this. I don't. Okay.
Oh, Amaranth.
Amaranth, time slows down, and the world around you kind of gets hazy until you feel like the only thing in focus is the statue in front of you. And Hashura's head seems to turn to look at you and lock eyes with you, and the eyes glow, and you're suddenly overpowered by a vision that sort of blasts itself into your brain. And with your will check, you're kind of overwhelmed by it. In the vision, It's as if you're flying in a bird's eye view above the eye of a Bendigo. And from the north, you can see surface dwellers coming in thousands of ships with black sails. And the black sails are moving south into the Shackles Islands, where each island begins to burn individually. There's flashes, incoherent flashes of war and death and screaming and battles. It's very difficult to sort it all out. When every island in the Shackles is burning, the ships turn and somehow they face downward and they begin to dart down into the ocean, and you see your home of Stormshaw. And after they're done with the Shackles, these black sailed ships come for your people. And again, you're overwhelmed with all these visions of war as the surface dwellers attack your home, and your home lay in ruins. And your final thing that you see before you pass out completely is your father pierced by many harpoons and tridents. And his head kind of like turns on a broken neck, and he locks eyes with you, and then everything goes black for you.
Okay. Thanks.
And so, what do we see while this is happening?
You see Amaranth lifted off the ground. Her whole body shakes, and she screams, and then she goes limp, and she drops 5 feet to the ground and just lays there.
Okay, I'll, crowd around her. Amaranth, what's going on, Amaranth? Wake up, wake up, wake up!
This is why you
Nothing.
don't trust peaceful
And
islands.
so,
There's really quickly, there's a loud crack, and the once pristine statue now has a clear crack down the center of it, and it's wide enough that you can actually see daylight coming through it.
okay.
And then everything's still again. Actually, the wind kind of comes back up like normal, and the stillness actually kind of goes away, and you like the sound of the ocean comes back, and the sound of the wind comes back. Like all these sounds that had kind of muted themselves, everything comes back, like rushing back to normal. And Amaranth, you snap awake after only a few seconds of being out.
Okay.
And I'm standing over her, about to
look-
hit her with a water blast, because I figured she's a water creature, and maybe she
That would
just
have been
needed some
perfect. Oh,
water.
no, wait. Okay, so Amaranth, you wake up when you get blasted by water from Brody.
Thank you.
I didn't know what to
Look
do.
where the-
You went limp. You floated in the sky. I didn't know you could fly. I thought you could swim.
I can't fly.
But you were flying.
This is why you don't trust peaceful islands. There's always a problem.
Amaranth, you saw a lot of images, but the only ones that you can clearly remember are the ones that I described. It's possible more will come to you later. You rolled a 1 on your will check, so you didn't get a lot of info.
Aw, I didn't know that the one meant that I got less information. Bummer. Okay.
The statue and see if there's anything underneath it.
You can roll a perception check to investigate the statue if you'd like. Yeah, there is a peculiar kind of flower that is growing in the vines under the statue. And while others are kind of crowded around Amaranth, Fishbone, you take notice of this unusual looking plant, and you can choose to do with that information as you will.
I ask the captain if she has any experience with nature and flowers.
Do you point out the strange flower to her?
Yeah.
Amaranth, do you have any knowledge nature skill?
I don't actually.
I'm sorry, I keep saying Amaranth. I meant to say Ophelia. Ophelia, do you have any knowledge nature skill?
I don't have any knowledge checks.
Let me open it up to everybody. Does anybody have the knowledge nature skill?
I do not have knowledge nature, but I do have survival.
You can make a survival check to try to identify the plant.
Oh wow.
Squall, you've never seen that flower before, and you're also pretty sure that it just bloomed in front of everyone right now. Like
Well,
it
that's
wasn't there,
useful.
and then that whole thing happened, and the statue cracked, and that thing bloomed.
I take like a deep breath of it, smelling it, like a real huff. Like it's a freshly opened can of paint, you know what I mean?
It smells like the ocean, but in a good way, like high tide, not low tide.
Does it have any specific traits that I might associate with, for instance, something that's poisonous or something that maybe have healing properties or anything along those lines, or is it just a flower?
It appears completely unique to anything you've encountered before.
Well, whatever it is, we should take samples. I've never seen such a thing.
Can I sense motive on a flower? Is that possible?
Does the flower have a motive?
Yeah.
It seems as though sensing the flower's motive probably won't glean you any additional information in this case.
Okay.
Oh wait, dark sight.
Dark vision? Dark vision gains you nothing!
We're not allowed to talk about it anymore.
You'll never use your dark vision in this campaign!
Appraise?
Can I cut it and eat it?
You certainly can. Fishbone
And,
with that. Hold on a second. Fishbone with that very specific look in his eye that everyone here is familiar with now starts to reach for this completely unique, never seen before flower.
Amaranth
Does
with
anybody
We
do
stop
anything?
him? We all stop him?
Everybody's like, no! Everybody jumps on him.
Big pile on Fishbone!
Stop it! Big pile, no!
Fishbone hungry, so
If
Well,
Amaranth
we'll get you
sees
more
that and
food.
nobody stops him, she's gonna try and grasping tail the flower out. From the
Yeah.
freaking
Oh, yeah.
statue.
So, when you pick the flower and you grasping tail it up and put it in your hand, the tendrils of the flower wrap themselves around your wrist, and it kind of comes to settle there on your wrist.
This
she
is
gets a
very
cool
strange
bracelet for stealing my lunch. Jeez.
I'll
She
catch
has
you a
to
fish.
Fishbone. She has to sleep at some point.
I swear to God.
Oh.
And that's all it does, is it just sort of wraps itself around?
Yeah.
Can I unwrap it? Like, does it let me?
Are you gonna? Yeah. If you pull hard enough, you can feel the tendrils will tear.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to like. So if it wrapped around, I'm just gonna see if I can like lift up part of it just to make sure that it can actually move.
It still feels like a plant. Like it feels like if you applied enough pressure, you could tear it if you
Okay.
needed to.
All right. Amaranth seems very muted, more so than she even normally is, and
Yeah, Amaranth, you
is
have a
just
terrible
gonna
headache right now too.
not. She's just not gonna say
Ooh,
anything.
what does that mean?
From her vision.
Can I
And the water blast.
use anything of mine to understand that?
Understand what? Which part?
Like why you have a headache or why you have
She floated in the air and fell.
Okay.
In fact, Amaranth, why don't you, in your conditions, why don't you give yourself the shaken condition?
Okay.
Oh, no.
And we'll
Is there
give
no
you-
concussed condition?
It's kind of the
Concussed.
closest thing. We'll give you a little. You'll probably be shaken for the remainder of the scene.
Okay, now that the creepy stuff is over and she's got a cool new flower bracelet that bloomed out of the ground and is clinging to her, let's go get those barrels and get off this island, because I'm starting to get a weird feeling.
I'm getting a weird feeling about this.
I think that dolphin lied to me.
Brody always has a weird feeling.
Never trust a dolphin. Are you guys
Or
gonna
a great
return-
white shark who says she's not married.
Are you guys gonna return to the waterfall?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay.
As long as we can get water. Wherever we can get the water in the barrels.
So Fishbone saw some crabs, and he's too weak to help with full barrels anyway. Can I catch the crabs?
Yeah, Fishbone, you can move yourself over there and try to catch a crab.
Fishbone doesn't see. Oh, there it is.
Go ahead and roll a stealth and then a melee check to capture a crab.
Where is my melee?
There should be a button on your character sheet that just says melee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow, yeah, you snatch a crab up and it's in your hand wriggling. I think I know what happens next.
You baby Yoda that crab.
I eat the crab's legs, and then I just put them in my pocket and save them for later.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
God.
Oh, twisted. It's delicious. The crab is delicious. Fishbone, give me a perception check while you're over there, actually.
Obviously.
Uh-oh.
You notice nothing.
All right.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
I go over to Fishbone and perception check also. Like, is that a thing?
A little meta game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm bad with perception, but let's see what happens.
Sure, go for it. You see nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Just this beautiful pool of water and this majestic waterfall.
Will you guys stop messing around with the crabs? Let's get these barrels and get out of here.
Can I give her some honey?
How do I fill the barrel up with water?
Okay, so barrels with water. So there's two checks. There's a half full barrel check, and then there's a full barrel check. And the DC increases by 5 each time. So it's a DC 10 strength check or a DC 10 acrobatics check to fill the barrel halfway, and then a DC 15 strength check or a DC 15 acrobatics check to fill the barrel the entire way. And once it's full, that's what you need to roll to move it. And then in a failure, you could potentially drop the barrel and spill the water if it's a bad enough failure. Now remember, you can also assist each other with these barrels.
Brody, you and me want to try to fill one of the barrels? What do we do? Do that.
I can help Squall.
Should we just both roll strength for one barrel?
So if you're going to assist with strength, one of you would be making the check and the other person would be assisting with the check. So to assist on a check, you both make the same check. The person assisting needs to roll higher than a 10 to give a +2 to the person who's making the official check to do it.
So
Okay,
you
two
make
more
the
thing.
strength check, I'll make the assist.
Okay.
So
Strength.
just roll a d20.
So yep, click your strength. That's plenty. Ophelia, you're definitely able to do it. So you've got that barrel halfway full.
Okay.
Want to roll it again
Squall, are
to
we gonna...
fill it all the way?
No, I thought you were gonna roll. I mean, I can roll. Do you want me to roll a d20 again?
Just roll your strength. Then I'll assist.
No, I rolled my strength. Wasn't that the thing?
So you have to
Or-
roll twice. So first you fill the barrel halfway. That's
Okay.
a DC 10.
Yeah.
And then you need to fill the barrel the whole way, and that's a DC 15.
Well, I didn't hit.
Right, but I'm gonna assist on the second one.
Okay, go ahead and roll your assist.
So that's what I was asking. Do I just roll a strength or?
Yep. So you should roll strength. If you roll higher than a 10, it adds +2 to her 14. So that makes it
wow.
16, which means that you guys
Nice.
have one full barrel of water.
Yay.
So
Squall.
Ophelia, give me a con save.
Uh-oh.
Ophelia, you feel fatigued. You kind of look at that other barrel and you're like, somebody else is gonna have to do that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna try with my acrobatics to fill the other. I'm all hopped up on crab meat right now. Oh no.
Ooh.
No, that filled it. That filled it halfway.
Yep, that's a
Did
half
it?
full barrel. Can you go ahead and move
Okay,
yourself?
okay.
You move yourself down to the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
Ophelia, in case
Um,
you are wondering, on Roll20, if you look at your character sheet at the top, there is a place for conditions and buffs. If you click conditions, you can select fatigued, and Roll20 will automatically debuff you in the appropriate places.
I will do that.
That's fine.
Actually, Amaranth and Squall, what are you guys up to? Are you guys gonna assist at all?
Amaranth is really suspicious of pretty much everything and everyone and all the stuff at this point. Actually, she would like to kind of look around the general area of this waterfall, despite its serenity, just to see if there's anything of note.
Sure. Why don't you give me a perception check? Or you can give me a knowledge nature check, but you don't have knowledge
Ooh,
nature.
shaken.
Whoa.
Not stirred.
23 is pretty good.
I don't know if that takes into account the. It does. That
Yep.
includes a -2.
I think it does.
Squall, can you also roll me a survival check to go with that perception check?
Oh yeah, by all means.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Okay, so both Squall and Amaranth,
Ranger,
as you guys move into the area, you both kind of at the same time notice that this path over here is actually fairly often traveled, and there's sort of like a haphazardly disguised with a bush walkway here, like somebody walked right up and there's like a bush hiding something.
Okay.
Skull's just gonna look at Fishbone and say, "Hold that thought."
Amaranth and Squall, upon closer investigation, there is actually a walking path that leads behind the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those two going? All right,
Do you think
Fishbone.
they did their blood sacrifices?
What? What'd you say?
I said, do you figure that this is where they do their blood sacrifices? Something's
Probably.
obviously up on this island.
I mean, most definitely. This is that. How else do you get to live in such peace and serenity without giving something up?
Squall's
she's-
gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
If I may interrupt briefly, Squall's gonna turn back to the group and he's gonna yell in Goblin, "Fishbone, there might be treasure back here."
Haha.
I also speak Goblin.
So Ophelia,
Fishbone
you hear him
immediately
yell.
stops what he's doing.
So Brody,
barrels
you're trying to focus on these barrels, and everyone's walking away. And
And I fill the barrel by myself.
You didn't build by yourself.
I did.
helped. No, I helped.
No, you guys all ran away, and I just filled it by myself.
You must gather your party to continue.
All right, I'm coming. I've got the barrels filled. Where are we going now? Let's get off this island.
Haven't you wanted to go behind a waterfall?
Father,
That's
when
your
can I
life?
live to be on my own?
Fine. Let's
Let's see,
go.
I did shoot you a private message about a thing, so you know.
Ooh.
It's nothing that needs to be answered right away, but I thought I would throw it out there.
Yeah, we're not gonna, probably not right now, but we can talk about that later. Later. All right, guys, we're gonna have a scene change. Give me just a second to get it
Scene
arranged here.
change.
It's a
What-
scene
what-
change. Scene change.
You guys had to investigate. We were almost out.
Were we?
So I think we have everyone back. So let's really quickly, let's just talk about what we have here. So this is an exploration map. I was saying this before, Fishbone, before you got back. So this map, your dark vision comes into play here. So what you can see on this map is what you can see, and what you can explore is what you can explore. But it's important that you don't move your token around outside of your turn, because it is possible to move your token like basically through a wall and just see the next area before you actually get there. So what we'll do is we're not gonna be in initiative order, but we are gonna make sure everybody gets a chance to take an action. Amaranth and Squall, you led the team behind the waterfall, so you two can decide which of you goes first once you get in here.
I'm happy to defer to Amaranth.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing about Squall, but
Aw.
so
Too bad, I deferred first.
so there's this exactly what we see in front of us, a treasure chest and a pile of stuff.
Yeah, you see a pile of junk.
Cool. I will let Fishbone enjoy that pile of junk. And if it's okay, I would just like to kind of creep forward my 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. That's all
Fishbone,
I'd like to
enjoy
do
the
right now.
junk.
I was.
Fishbone whispers to Squall, "Do you want to shoot that chest just to make sure?"
I'm the one arrows, but stab it. Just check.
Okay, Fishbone then goes over to the chest and just gently stabs it.
The chest doesn't. It's a trunk like a footlocker. It does not react to your stabbing.
Nice. Fishbone then tries to open it.
Yeah, Fishbone, why don't you roll 2d4 for me?
2d4.
So when you open the trunk, it has like a cutout in it for 8 cylindrical objects, of which 5 are missing and 3 remain. And the object looks like this. So there's 3 of them. They're like a ceramic sphere, slightly larger than a baseball, slightly smaller than a softball. And the sphere, the ceramic feels brittle in your hand, like it would break very easily.
Mr. DM,
Yes.
if you want us to like guess at what the object is, it might be best not to have the name of the object on the picture.
That's fine. It's not a secret.
Okay, just saying.
I, I,
So
I
this is
immediately.
Mr. Squall. Since this is a teaching session, the idea is that I show you the object, and they say, "What is the object?" and then we talk about what it is and what it does.
Would anyone recognize this as like a normally used item?
Yeah. Anybody that has any dungeoneering experience would recognize these as being 3 vials of alchemist fire, which is a thrown splash weapon. So what we'll do now is we'll talk about splash weapons. So let me show you guys this little. Here's a little bit about how splash weapons work. So you throw them and they affect an area. You can target a specific creature or you can target a square with the splash weapon. If you throw a splash weapon at a square, it affects all the squares that it lands on and the squares that are around it. If you throw the alchemist fire at a person and you miss, it still has to land somewhere. Which is an important thing to remember that, when you throw it,
I was
it's gonna
asking
land
like
somewhere.
should we get that away from Fishbone immediately?
Fishbone, I would say that Fishbone knows what this is. I'm
Okay.
not going to say that that means that he does or doesn't eat it, but I would say that he knows that ceramic ball break and go big boom.
Okay.
And
So
I
Fishbone
also
just
is
have a
fine to be
handout.
drink it.
I have a handout for Alchemist Fire specifically as well.
so out of curiosity about the 5 feet thing, so let's say that I threw it at Fishbone for no reason, um, and it splashes around Fishbone. I would never actually. Amber, don't pout. Oh God. I mean, Ophelia, don't sad face me. So does that mean that it would splash in every square around Fishbone?
Yeah, every square. So as I
Oh,
mark, so
geez.
if you throw it and it lands here,
Yeah.
it's gonna affect every square around that square.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the pings if you did it earlier. My bad. Okay. Cool.
The splash damage is less than the direct hit damage, though.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it would do, I think it's 1d6 damage to Fishbone, and then 1 point of fire damage to everybody around him.
Yeah. That takes 1 point of fire damage from the splash. Yeah. Okay.
So how many slots
And
and then how many are empty?
all of these. So there are 5 empty slots and 3 vials remaining.
Huh. I don't like that.
So Fishbone's brain is all powered up by crab meat right now, so he's thinking that there's either a trap, right, with these missing ones, or they've been used. But he really does want to drink it just to see,
Oh my
but he
God.
won't. Okay.
Squall, maybe
There's
one of
not.
us should take them because we're more on the ranged side of things. And
Yeah,
we'll get
Fishbone
them.
leaves him alone and walks away.
We'll keep them away from Fishbone.
Squall is going to move up to here, and he is going to take a moment to pull a torch out of his pack and light it off the torch on the wall.
Okay.
Oh.
I will set you up to emit light. You emit light now. It'll be just a second for it to
Yep, no
do
worries.
its thing. The lighting is not very fast, I will say.
What do you use to? Oh, sorry.
I'm using Roll20 to set up light for everybody.
Sorry, that was me asking Jay, looking at our character sheets, and I forgot to meet us first.
So Brody, you should be seeing light emitting from Squall now as well.
Yes. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to grab those alchemist fire. Put them in my bag.
It
Goodies.
might be a good idea to distribute those around.
Oh, sure. I just figured that you didn't want them because you lit the torch, and they're basically bombs. But yeah, who
Ophelia,
wants?
you haven't acted yet, so I'd like you to take a chance to act as well, if you have anything that you would like to do. Well,
What
I'm sorry, Brody, you can hand those out as well.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. My bad.
what can I do?
You can move up to 30 feet, which is 6 squares.
Okay. I guess I'll just move forward. Um, is there anything you can do to help the group?
I don't really know anything about your character.
Mm,
So you're walking through a cavern. You're walking on this sort of like silty sand, and in front of you there's a 5 foot high, maybe 4 foot high rock ledge, and beyond it you can see there's more cavern beyond, but it's dark. Well, you have dark vision, so you can see this cavern beyond, but from the angle you can't see above it. So you'll have to you'll have to climb
I have
up on
climb.
this ledge.
That's
Yep.
one of the things that I have. I don't know if I'm close enough to climb though.
Okay, so I give Squall. How many of these do you want, Squall?
Why don't you give one to me, and we'll pass one up to the captain when
Yeah,
we
I'll
get the
take one.
opportunity.
Okay. So we take the 3 of them, and 3 of us have them.
Do I need to add anything to my character sheet?
So you can add an item to your item list. You can say that you have 1 vial of alchemist fire if you like. And everyone's had a chance to take an action, so we're kind of back around to the beginning where everyone can take actions again.
Sneak ahead.
How do we want to approach moving forward here?
Mm,
We should probably have our best melee fighters up front.
Yeah, Amaranth will, as soon as she sees people like getting ready to, pulling out torches and that sort of thing, she's gonna defer as soon as she can tell that she can't see shit. She's just gonna like step back and let people with light sources and people who are better at fighting go ahead and move in front of her.
So that's Ophelia and Fishbone, right?
yeah, I'm happy to do that. 1, 3.
Okay, Ophelia, stop right there. Give me a reflex save.
Oh, we didn't.
Uh,
Oh no!
where's reflex?
So on your character sheet in the upper left, you have your attributes, and below that you have your saves, your
Uh-oh.
Constitution save. I think it's called. I'm sorry. I think it's a fort save. Is it fort?
No, it's
I did
reflex.
Yeah.
reflex.
Well, I'm trying to remember the name of. Okay, so Ophelia, that you make your save. So as you're stepping forward to walk towards this shelf that you're gonna kind of scramble up onto,
Hmm.
you step through a tripwire, and
Oh no!
at the last second, you just managed to dodge a hidden dart trap, and the dart sort of plunks itself into the wall right here.
Okay.
What was that?
And now you can move yourself forward.
Okay. Is that as far as I can go?
Yep.
Okay.
Was that all your movement?
Yeah, is there anything else I can do?
No.
Like a sense or
I
anything?
think right now you're just exploring.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm
Who would
good.
like to who would like to go next?
Can I ask a question of the group really quickly?
Yeah.
Do we have anybody in the group with any sort of trap finding or trap sensing abilities?
What would that be?
It would be like a special ability of your class. Do we have a rogue in the group anywhere? I think
So,
Fishbone, you're a warrior, right? Or a fighter?
Fishbone is a fighter.
Do we? I don't know that we've got any rogue types.
I think I should just fishbone on in there.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I would assume nobody really has disabled device either.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
I have disabled device +5, but it's not
Oh.
checked.
Oh, because your dexterity is so high, but you don't have it as a skill.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh,
So,
bummer.
So what does that mean? Can I actually use it?
My skill
uh,
is checked over here for disabled device, but not in here. Does that make sense?
No.
That checks it just to show up. So in
Okay.
configuration, yeah, all of that stuff that's checked is just checking it to show up in the other page. Yeah.
Okay.
um, so disabled device, I believe, is a skill that you cannot use untrained.
Is that what a little star next to it means?
Yes.
That makes sense.
So unfortunately, we would need somebody who had at least one rank in it to be able to attempt to use it.
Hmm.
So my recommendation would just be that we should take things slow and make deliberate perception checks to try to see if we can spot anything that looks trap-like as we go along.
I
Sounds
feel
good.
like DM is
Here,
probably
yeah.
so disappointed that Ophelia didn't just get snapped up, darted, whatever.
Me? No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah.
I'm. No, even
Liar!
close. But
Uh,
everyone who wants to follow her up onto that shelf can feel free to do so. So, Ophelia, you're up on a rocky area now, and you realize that this is like a tidal cavern. So, some sections of it during high tide would be underwater, and it
Okay.
appears to be low tide right now. So, you guys were able to walk on this like sandy, silty part, climb up onto
Ooh.
this rock, and now you're in like a high tide area now. So, you'd be
Okay.
above the water line. But you figure that you'll probably come across other places in this cavern where, you'd be below or above the water line depending on the tide.
Yeah, I see a part where we can go down to the right, but to the left I see a couple of like one case and two like casks. I don't know how else to describe that.
Harold?
Like barrels, yeah.
I'm gonna roll a perception check.
Sure.
Where is it?
Is it on there? Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, it's in
Oh.
alphabetical order, guys.
You don't have it checked though.
Beautiful. Well done.
Brody.
Brody, you are not comfortable in this dark, dark environment with all these dark vision
It's someone
people.
else with dark vision. Try.
Even though Squall wisely lit a torch, you're still just not enjoying it.
Just to check out that chest.
What's that, Fishbone?
He wants to check out that chest. Fishbone wants to check out that chest.
Go
Ooh.
for it.
I'm gonna stab it quickly. Just a quick little
Hey,
stab.
Fishbone, I'm gonna stop you like right here.
Okay.
Okay. This
So
is why I said we need to go slow.
as you enter this area, you're kind of entering into a separate section of the cavern. And now this is kind of interesting. I don't know if everybody can see where you are. I think that, let's see here. I think that,
I
I
can.
do not.
Jay definitely can't, but I can. And I
so
don't
I
know
think,
if that's
I
because
think
of the dark vision or not.
Brody and Amaranth are not able to see you. That's just something to,
Uh,
I'm
I
learning how the dynamic lighting works here.
I
So,
can. If I'm
oh, you
not
can?
supposed to, then you should. Yeah, you should change it.
Uh, no, I'm not going to change it, but that's interesting because
Okay.
it doesn't look like you can from my screen, but it doesn't matter.
Amaranth, do you have dark vision at all? Or no?
I have
She
low
does.
light
She has low
vision.
light vision, which does
Low
kind
light.
of half of what your vision can do.
Okay.
The ocean is famously dark, so she should be able to see some stuff, right?
Well, Stormshaw, where she's from, is actually fairly well illuminated. You see the bioluminescence of the
Oh my
algae and
goodness.
plant life.
Very cool.
Okay, so Fishbone, you spy off in the corner some discarded materials. It looks like a couple barrels and another footlocker, and so you quickly make your way towards it. And as you enter this cavernous area, you sense kind of motion in the ceiling above you.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Tasty treats incoming. I already have my weapons out because I am distrustful of chests.
That's
Mm.
understandable,
I understand,
considering
Fishbone.
what I've done to you all in the past.
You and me, Fishbone.
So can I scurry back to the crew and say that to the captain and say that I saw a chest, but I also sensed movement?
You certainly can.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So Fishbone comes back and says something's moving in there.
Can I advance into that other room?
You certainly may.
Do we want to move as a group here?
What do we
For the
think?
sake of vision, probably, or at
Yeah.
least make sure that Brody is
Yeah, because
with
Brody,
somebody.
I can see what Brody can see, and he can see nothing. Like he literally, like the edge of his view is where Fishbone is. So yeah, maybe we
Just
should
thinking
move
of-
as a group.
I'm just thinking of like kids playing flashlight tag, and then there's that one kid that doesn't have a flashlight, and he's just like hanging out with the kids that do have a flashlight.
Yeah, that's Brody right now.
Okay.
But yeah, if you guys wanna, we can just sort of move
One,
together.
2, 3,
Brody, if it's
4.
okay.
Ophelia, why don't you make a stealth check?
Oh,
Fishbone,
Awesome.
you can also make a stealth check.
oh no!
Okay, Ophelia, as you start walking into this cavern, from above you, you hear a rustling of many, many wings. Go ahead and move your character back to here. You hear a rustling of many wings, and as you're looking up, everyone kind of gets the same sense at the same time. Everyone's like, bats! And thousands of bats start launching themselves from the ceiling and
Oh, no.
screaming around you guys. And a large number of bats begin to coalesce into a
Fight
swarm.
music!
Everyone roll initiative, please.
Is this Darkest Dungeon music?
Mm.
I approve.
So remember to roll initiative. The way you do this, yep, you make sure you select your
Oh
team
no!
and then click on the initiative button.
I'm
Where
going
is
to
this?
die!
Guys, what's going on? I can't see anything.
Oh no, Brody!
My roll 20 is being really slow.
Mine was doing that earlier.
Ron, point of contact. Wait, what's the word? Question.
Point of order?
Point of order.
That's if you correct me.
Does my 17 mean that I'm still seen because the other roll was low?
There are so many bats that are streaming out of this cavern right now and coalescing around you that everyone is detected.
Oh
There are literally thousands of them. And I'm going to post a little bit about swarms. So everyone should take a look at this handout about swarms. This could be important. It talks a little bit about what swarms are made up as. And what's important about swarms is that you cannot target a single creature and do effective damage to a swarm, because we're talking about hundreds of bats all in a mass together. So things that target one creature at a time, like a slash from a sword or a single spell that fires one single projectile, are going to do reduced damage to a swarm creature, whereas items that do area damage or splash damage are going to do additional damage to a swarm. So the bat swarm gets to act first because it has the highest initiative. Amaranth has the next highest initiative, and the bat swarm is going to move forward.
Uh-oh.
And what it does is the bat swarm does not need to roll an attack, but it does provoke attacks of opportunity from both Fishbone and Ophelia as it moves on to you. However, important thing about an attack of opportunity is you cannot do it if you haven't already acted in a round. So because this is a brand new round and a brand new fight, and the bat swarm gets to move first, everyone here is considered flat-footed right now. You haven't had a chance to react yet. The bat
Okay.
swarm settles around you guys and then automatically does damage without needing to hit. Sorry, not needing to roll to hit.
Okay.
So you both take 5 damage.
Jeez.
And the bats begin to suck your blood, which means at the beginning of the round, next round, you're going to automatically take a point of bleed damage.
So where
Is
do
that
I
in
put that?
conditions? Bleed. Yeah. Okay. In your conditions, there's a bleed condition.
Bleed, and it's 5.
No, you're just gonna take
Oh, I
5
just
damage.
bleed. Okay. Oof. Okay.
And then up
You're gonna
next
take-
is Amaranth.
Damage.
Hello.
So Amaranth, you see what has just happened around you. These thousands of bats have coalesced into this swarm and settled on top of Fishbone and Ophelia and begun attacking, biting, and drawing blood from them. And they're both like, ah!
Okay. Okay. Oh geez, I really don't have much of an idea of what to do. Sorry guys. So I guess just to see if it works, I'll try one of my storm bursts.
Okay,
I
can
guess.
you link the spell for me?
I can't really.
Can you
I
read the spell to me?
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I would say that counts as an AOE ability as well. So it's gonna do half again as much damage when you do your damage. And even though it's doing non-lethal damage, because they're bats, it'll be
Okay.
effective.
So you interpret any foe.
So you're
Okay.
gonna make a ranged touch attack
Yeah.
on these bats,
Oh, okay.
and they have a touch AC of
I can't
not
move
higher than a
still.
20. So go ahead and do your damage. So it's 1d6 plus 1. No, so it's just 1d6 for you.
Yeah, because I don't have any levels in cleric.
Okay, and because that's an area of effect attack, it creates this burst of wind and rain localized on this bat swarm. It does half again as much damage, so the swarm takes 6 points of damage, which actually disperses it.
Even though it's non-lethal?
Yep. So you do 6 points of damage to non-lethal damage, and like whatever percent of bats get knocked out cold and drop to the ground, and the rest of them disperse back out into the cavern,
Okay. Cool.
thus quickly ending the combat.
Fishbone eat any of the unconscious bats?
Oh my god.
The bats. So now that you're looking at the floor is covered in guano.
Ew.
Fishbone
I
is at less than half health right now. No, wait, I'm at half health.
So
Okay.
we are as quickly as we came into combat. We're not out of combat. Well, we're not out of combat because we have 2 people who are bleeding. So after Amaranth would be Fishbone. So Fishbone, at the start of your turn, you can take an additional point of bleed damage.
Super cool. Okay. Wait. Okay, that puts me at 5.
Can they stop that?
They can stop the bleeding by making a heal check to bandage themselves. So Fishbone, thinking fast, sort of wraps the bleeding wound in cloth and manages to stop his own bleeding. Squall, you are
Super cool.
next.
Okay.
Squall can step up and help Ophelia. Make a heal check for Ophelia here. Let me have a look of that. Hold on. Ugh.
I don't know if that's. Let me see if that's enough. It's a DC 10 heal check.
So I didn't quite manage it.
You didn't quite manage it. Ophelia, it's not your turn yet. We're gonna have Brody go.
You
I'll
told
let
me
you
to
save.
roll heal.
I'll
Sorry.
let you save that roll. So Brody, you're up next. And Brody, you're able to bandage up Ophelia before she loses any additional health.
Brody wants to help the damsel.
Yes.
Yeah,
Damsel in
sorry. I
distress.
tried to I couldn't hear for most of that, so I apologize.
Okay, and we can go back into explore mode again.
DM,
We
do you mind
really-
if I ask you a rules question?
Of course.
So the stormburst thing creates some wind and rain, like a little bit little amount of it that causes a penalty. If there were a follow-up spell that increased wind, would that work? Or since this is like artificial wind?
I think that Stormburst is an instantaneous burst, which does that disorienting effect on an enemy. So
Okay.
if you imagine like something the size of like a basketball, and it bursts into that size on somebody's head, and then is gone
Okay.
in that quick moment, which does the non-lethal damage and disorients them. So I don't think it's like a continuous wind that you can then
Cool.
manipulate later. That's my take on it. But we can look into it closer later. We can read about more later and see
That makes sense.
if that holds up for us both.
I was just trying to figure out a way to game the system. Shouldn't be doing that anyways.
What do you mean
Stormburst
shouldn't be
blew
doing
out Squall's torch.
What?
I said, I wonder if that stormburst blew out Squall's torch.
No,
If
because
it's if it's as
I was
targeted
behind
as
him.
Ronnie says, then no.
Okay.
So we can go back into explore mode again here, guys. So feel free to look around.
So
Fishbone treasure.
can I move towards the barrel? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, of course.
Can I look inside the barrel?
You may. These barrels appear to be filled with old carpentry materials. So, like wood, nails, a hammer. If anybody here was a carpenter, they could acquire tools from these barrels. And then,
Mm.
Fishbone, are you going to open that trunk?
Yes, please.
You can roll 2d4.
Okay.
In that trunk, you find 6 additional vials of alchemist fire.
Damn.
Okay.
Do we pass that out
Um,
around us or just?
Fishbone wonders aloud. Was the chest with the alchemist fire, did it need all of the slots to be filled to open other parts to it, or was that it just had that many
So
holders?
the ceramic feels very brittle, like they're designed to explode on impact. So it seems like the trunks have these cutouts to keep them packed without
Okay,
jingling
so it's
around
not like
inside
you
them.
need the number to unlock another compartment in the
No,
chest.
so when you open this trunk, it has 8 slots and there's 6 vials in there.
Okay. I tell Ophelia there's more of this gross stuff there. I can't drink it, so just somebody else take it.
So do I pass it out to everybody else? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, certainly. You can sort of disseminate it amongst yourselves, and everyone who has some should mark it on their character sheet that they have it.
Okay,
It could be
so
relevant as you guys go deeper into this. I don't know. Maybe they'll. I don't know what's gonna happen. Anything could happen.
so I know
That's our notoriously weak to fire, right? Like as are all other living creatures.
that Brody and I each had Alchemist of Fire, like one Alchemist of Fire earlier because we got that. So do we change that to 2 and have other people change that to 2?
You can hand out those 6 however you want.
The 6. Okay.
Emerith, do you want any?
Of the fire stuff?
Yeah.
She suggests that other folks take it. Because
Alright.
she is not very
So the
skilled
3 of
at
us will
that.
just take 2 each then.
Okay, so we each
Fishbone,
get
do you want any of them to be able to throw at people?
Fishbone gone.
Fishbone gone.
He already said he didn't want any.
Okay, so each of us take 2, so that goes to 3.
Yeah.
What is it that Alchemist Fire does?
So I linked it in
Yeah.
chat. and
Oh, okay.
also
Sorry, I've
it's-
only seen the video in Discord. I will take
It's
a look.
also available in the handouts.
Okay.
I think I just showed it again.
Yes, you did. Okay. Thank you.
Ron, your mustache is acting like a green screen, and was just perfectly blue.
I don't see that. Let me see the
I mean, DM.
beautiful mustache.
Okay.
Okay, what next, guys?
Let's
Brody?
keep exploring, guys. I can't see shit. So
Yeah, I can
someone
see,
lead
but
the
you
way.
can't see shit. So I was gonna say,
Can
should we
I
go down this ladder over to the right?
please pass Brody the torch?
Ooh.
There you go, bud.
All right, you're killing me. Hold on.
Thank you, my fine feathered friend.
As soon as Ophelia's like, go down the ladder to the right, Amaranth is like, what ladder to the right?
Right?
One,
I was gonna say the
two,
same thing.
3,
Fishbone
4.
sees a nice
five.
blue chest up ahead. Is that something that anyone else sees?
What's
The
Fishbone yelling about
Fishbone-
up there?
I see a blue chest down the ladder.
Yeah.
Can we actually see that?
I think Ron's trying to do lighting stuff right at the moment.
Yep, I got the lighting done. So what you can see is what you can see. As you approach, some of you are able to see. It looks like
To the
so this
right.
is one of those tidal pools I was talking about. So you guys are at low tide right now,
Okay.
and you can see submerged down there. You can see some some
going.
sundries, various items, and it appears to be a waterlogged chest down in the bottom of the water there.
Yeah. I moved.
Ophelia, can one of you guys roll perception, please, and see if there's any traps?
I'm bad at perception, but I can give it a try. Poop.
Looks completely safe.
Okay. Ah.
Amaranth is way over there though.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not good at like keeping up with moving my token with everybody else because I thought we were being more careful about it.
Amaranth, what are you checking?
I'm looking for bats and just anything creepy in this general area around the ladder in
It's
particular. I
freaking
also would like to
bats.
actually,
I
if
love
I can go up
Halloween.
and can I check and see like if the ladder is I don't know, is it broken? Is there any way to salvage this?
I just need to know if you're checking for traps or if you're looking for something else.
I
It's
see.
kind of
Sorry.
one or the other. Either you're checking for traps or you're checking the area.
I don't want to metagame and say I'm checking for traps because that's what Ophelia was doing, so I'm just looking around the area.
Okay, around the area, you kind of see exactly what you see.
Okay, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
All right.
Fishbone says that he'll try the ladder to get to that chest.
Everyone, Fishbone's gonna try the ladder, even though you have very little health. But let's give it a try.
How deep does the ladder go before it actually hits the water, and how deep is the water below?
Yeah,
So
is that a
this is-
perception check?
Yep, so what I was saying before is this is a tidal pool and it's low tide right now. So there's like 5 feet of ladder down into like 5 feet of water.
Okay.
And then as the tide would come up, Fishbone, go ahead and roll me a reflex save.
Easy. Bam.
Okay, so Fishbone, as you are about to straddle the ladder,
Oh no!
pressure on the rung results in a spear trap going off, and a spear stabs outwards through that top set of rungs there. But you're thinking quick because of what happened earlier, and you're able to dodge out of the way before it actually does any damage to you.
Oh, Fishbone, my dear friend, I'm so glad that you're safe.
It's that crab meat. Crab is brain food, okay?
Is anyone else wondering why this strange cave is trapped?
Yeah, that is odd.
A wee bit.
Is there anything we can
Wait.
do to understand that? Sense motive? Or anything?
Sense motive, to be clear, usually requires a person that you are trying to sense the motive of.
Okay.
I imagine if anything, dungeoneering would be what you would try to see, like if you can remember historically what is in caves that are trapped, but I don't even know if that's something that
Could
game would be.
could I do a knowledge history check on the trap?
You could. I like the idea of knowledge engineering. If somebody has the knowledge engineering skill, they can use it to try to get an idea of how old that trap is, how long it's been set up like that.
I don't have it checked.
You know that. Okay.
I'm gonna look at Fishbone and ask if he still wants to go down into the water.
You okay, Fishbone? Do you still want to go down to the water?
Fishbone says Fishbone and heads down the water.
Fishbone!
Bone! You
Fishbone!
can move yourself down the ladder and into the water, and you can make a swim check to dive to that chest.
Can you do
Dive,
it,
dive,
Fishbone?
dive.
I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
move over to the edge so I can hear
no
you.
problem. The chest is kind of jammed closed, but you're able to get Mr. Hacky in there and wiggle it around enough to pop it open. When the chest pops open, inside you can see like there's some old soaking wet like cloth and type things, but there's a leather case in there as well.
Hmm.
Something hard inside the leather case.
I take the leather case.
Okay, you have a leather case, something in it.
Okay.
You swim back to the surface.
I'm gonna swim back to the other ladder.
Okay.
On the other side.
Yeah. And then climb out.
Hmm.
Okay.
What's over there, Fishbone?
Okay, so with my sight being so sighty, can I
Yeah, I
tell
can
them
see
about
it. I can see.
it? Okay.
Yeah, you can absolutely. You guys can still communicate back and forth. You're not very far away from each other at all.
I mean, Fishbone sees some crates. They don't look that exciting, but I guess we could go look at them.
Hmm. Okay. Do we need to come over to look at them? Like, has Fishbone run out of moves or whatever, or can we have Fishbone do it in
Nope,
like
you guys are still
for
you guys are
us?
in explore mode right now, which means that you're not in rounds and
Okay.
you don't have any limit to the number of actions you can do. I would, encourage you guys to take turns and try to, give everybody a chance to do stuff.
Okay.
But there's no limit to movement or anything right now.
Can we move over like I'm right by the ladder. Do I need to go down the ladder and cross the way that Fishbone did, or can I go down and over?
So it looks like this is another tidal area here. So you're up on a rock shelf right now, and this is like that silty sand.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said before, you're at low tide right now, so everything is all drained out. So you
Okay.
could easily move down and around.
I can move 6.
You can move for free right now.
Oh, okay.
All right, I guess let's keep exploring.
Looks like there's other stuff down here. Ooh. Okay.
Come on, my trio that can't see.
Can
So
I
I guess
help
we're all
you,
going to
friends?
this other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wall
let's
and Brody, can I help you out?
let's stay together.
Yeah, come this way. And there's more.
Ophelia, why don't you make a perception check right there?
Okay. Again, I'm bad at perceptions. Apologize if this is bad. Oh, okay. Not too bad.
As you enter into this like narrow passageway, the cavern opens up in front of you, and you get that sense of like, um, okay, do you actually move
Oh,
there, or
sorry,
do you want
sorry.
me to?
No, I was just
You want me to
trying to
finish
move
what I was
things
saying?
around. Yes, please finish what you were saying.
You get that sense of that like fluttering motion above your head again.
Hmm. Okay.
DM, I have a question.
Hmm.
Oh, go ahead, Fishbone.
Can you, if you sense that, can you preemptively like throw those alchemist thingamajiggers out at the ceiling?
Sure, you can look up. You can. I stopped your movement there because if you had moved any further, then that would have required more action on my part. But I stopped. You rolled your perception check, and I stopped you and said that you sense the movement and you that fluttering above your head again. And so it's up to you guys what you want to do now. You can leave. You can go in. You can throw. You can do whatever you like.
Fishbone,
Whatever
do
you
you think
think
I
the
should
appropriate action
throw my
would be.
alchemist fire?
Fishbone is biased because those bats really did a number on Fishbone.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. If you, I mean, may not hurt to try and clear them out, depending on if there's something back there that you think is worth it. Alternatively, we could just leave.
I mean,
And
there
go your
are
way.
2 like boxes in there that I think maybe we should look at. I mean, they're boxes, so I don't think that they're not nothing. So I'd like to explore, but I would like help in what to choose to do next. And I'm happy to go in.
Fishbone's gonna hang back next to Squall because he's also a flying animal, so I feel like the bats would target him as an enemy.
Maybe they might avoid him because he's a kindred spirit.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's only one way to find out. Squall, do you feel confident that the bats will ignore you?
Not particularly, no.
Aramantha or Brody, is there anything that you? Because I'm happy to go in.
So I throw a alchemist fire at the ceiling.
Okay.
Is he
Roll
close enough to throw it?
Certainly is.
Okay.
Roll a ranged attack. Feel free to reference that alchemist fire.
Ooh.
That's a good throw. Yeah. So the vial hits the ceiling and shatters. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is. Ah, crap.
Not bad. It does result. The bats are all stirred up, and they do coalesce into another swarm. Dun dun dun. So let's go ahead and have everybody roll initiative again.
Fishbone! Brody!
Amaranth, oh no.
That's fine. I'm so unprepared for this one.
I'll protect you, Amaranth, if I can.
Take a full spell, and now.
Totally fine.
Yes, let me use my cutlass and axe on these bats.
Wait, is it my turn?
I'm just. If you can give me just a second, I'm. My roll
Okay.
20 is being very slow, so I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get my stuff into the initiative tracker and get the initiative tracker in the correct order.
You do everything you need. I will be here.
Around there's some kind of arrow. There's 2 bat swarms.
There we go.
Brody, having thrown the fire, you are
Um,
on top of things.
Fishbone is not on the initiative tracker.
Oh no! There
Fishbone,
are
what
2
did you
bat
roll?
swarms, but no
You rolled
no
17.
fishbone.
So go ahead and roll again, Fishbone, and we'll adjust your number to 17 since that was your first roll.
Make sure that you've got your own
Fishbone?
token selected when you roll.
Fishbone! Ooh!
Wait, but I rolled a 19 now.
Yeah,
So-
but yours is 17 though.
Fishbone,
Aw.
you need to. There
Yeah,
we
you have
go.
to click on your token. Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go. So that's a 17.
What are you gonna do, Birdie?
Okay, Brody, you're up first.
So I know because I can hear the bats like freaking out in there, but I can't see them. So, oh wait, no, I can actually see edge of one down here because of the torch that Squall gave me. So Guess I'm gonna fire a light crossbow at them.
Do you you're a sorcerer, right?
Yeah,
Do you have any AoE spells?
I do. Yeah, I have
Your-
acid splash.
Because your light crossbow isn't going to do much against a
Mm.
Right.
swarm.
Yeah. The orb deals 1d3 points of damage. Okay.
So Acid Splash is a single target spell.
Yeah.
So it's going to do half damage against a swarm.
Okay. Let's see, what else do I have? Yeah, all my. Yeah, I guess I'll use. Well, so the light crossbow would do half damage as well, correct?
Correct.
So it'll do more damage than the acid splash.
You don't have like burning hands or something along those lines?
I have acid splash, ray of frost, jolt, spark, and I have a snowball.
Nah, snowball's still a single target. All right.
Yeah, but don't you have more of the alchemist thingies? Nope.
Is that your phone, Fishbone?
No, I'm only level 1, so I don't have that many spells.
No, but your alchemist vial there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, I forgot. I completely
Alchemist
forgot about
fire.
that. Yeah. I'll throw a alchemist fire at this one.
Okay, roll
Right.
your ranged attack. That will
Ooh.
land squarely on it. So go ahead and roll your Alchemist Fire damage.
Hey.
Nope.
Try again.
Damn it.
Okay.
Oh no.
Both swarms have taken damage, and you can see there's dead, burning, singed bats on the ground. But they're
Oof.
both still, the two writhing, spinning, flying masses are still aggressively coalescing. Up next is Fishbone. Fishbone, it is your turn.
Fishbone.
Okay, so guys, I know that you guys have an idea of what Fishbone might do. Fishbone has a question for Master Round. Can Fishbone move into and fit into the chest that Fishbone already looted?
The one that's under the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can dive down and hide in the chest if he wants. He's gonna have to hold his breath though. Discretion is sometimes the greatest valor.
Uh, uh,
Will
hmm.
Fishbone be safe if he goes into that chest?
Safer than he is if he stays out of it.
Hmm. True.
Fishbone.
Though honestly, just being under the surface of the water is probably good
Yeah,
enough.
Fishbone hops down and just like huddles near that chest.
So you dive under the water for safety.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself. All right. After that, the two swarms are both gonna act this turn.
Oh
So
boy.
the first, it's actually the second swarm that acts first, is going to swarm its way up here, and it's going to swarm on top of Amaranth and Brody.
Oh
The swarm biting and pecking at you. The bats do 5 points of damage,
no. Oh boy.
and you are both bleeding.
I'm actually unconscious.
Oh no,
Brody.
Brody, no!
Oh no! What happened? Oh my god. Okay.
And then the first bat swarm is going
Does
to move.
Amaranth
God,
get?
oh God,
She
oh
hasn't
God.
acted yet, so she can't attack of opportunity, right?
Right.
How bad am I?
1 point of damage to Ophelia, and Ophelia, you are bleeding.
Alright. I think
Now,
I was already bleeding. Where does my 1 point go?
hey, Brody had already acted. Does Brody get an attack of opportunity before the swarm
7.
moves onto him?
He does if he had a weapon in his hand.
I have a large fish hook.
Don't think that you were armed.
Oh,
What
right,
we can
because
do
I
is
threw the alchemist fire.
Yeah, what we can say is that you had a weapon. You threw your alchemist fire, but you had a weapon in your other hand. So what is your normal melee weapon for Brody?
Large fish hook.
So Brody, as these bats peck you and bite you into unconsciousness, why don't you make a fishhook attack as you one last desperate life as you go down for the count.
Mm.
That is not enough to do damage to them of any real significance.
Okay.
Squall, you are up.
One moment, I'm thinking here.
So Brody, when you're down, make sure you keep track of how many hit points you are negative. So
Oh,
the
okay.
way that death and dying works in Pathfinder is that you can go to your Constitution score negative before you die.
Oof. You're at -1?
Yeah.
Oof.
And because you're bleeding, you are going to take a point of damage next at the beginning of your next turn, unless somebody helps you.
I am going to ready an action to throw a vial of alchemist fire at the swarm after Amaranth moves away from it.
Okay. So you have a readied action. So we'll give you a little icon.
And I'm gonna Amaranth, can you drag him out of that?
That's what I was gonna. Yeah. I have some questions on my turn for
Okay,
for
Ophelia,
DM.
you are up.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Can I move away from the swarm?
You can.
Okay. And then can I will what's that fire thing?
Let
And
me before you do, let me just double check and see if swarms get attacks of opportunities.
I don't think swarms have attacks.
Yeah, I think that they just occupy a square and damage it on their turn. So you are safe to move out of them.
okay, is there anything I can do? Doesn't look like there's anything I can do to kind of
So the swarm that's in front of you has actually already taken damage once from Brody. So your best bet might be to take your cutlass out and give him a big old slice.
okay. I can do that.
And did you remember to update your weapon to masterwork?
I didn't. What would that be?
So you want to add a +1 to hit with that weapon.
Okay, so right now it's +6, so I need to go to +7.
Mm-hmm.
Won't let me. Do I need to add ammo?
No.
I don't know what to do.
Just roll it.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so many things just.
Okay. Well, that first one is good enough to hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
Oh, is that no? You haven't rolled your damage yet.
Good
Okay.
lord.
I know. I don't know what I did.
Ophelia going ham with that cutlass all of a sudden.
So you have it set up to roll a second attack, which is going to be great later on. So that second thing that popped up
I
is.
think she clicked it twice. I think that's two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been it.
I mean, is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing? I see
Yeah.
It was
2, 3,
so
4, 5,
Oh,
many.
geez. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Oh,
I
whoa,
Oh
think
yeah.
gosh.
What's with so many?
26
Oh my
cutlass
God.
attacks there.
Okay.
Yeah, I
the
don't know
very.
what just happened.
I think you clicked it a lot of times, and it took roll 20 a second to catch up with how many
Well,
times.
I think I was trying to on my attack change it from +6 to +7, and I don't know how to actually do it.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, that first one hits.
Hold on, I got it.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Where do I change it? It attack melee +1 to +2.
I don't know. I wouldn't start messing with that stuff yet.
All right. So
Yeah,
what?
go ahead and roll your damage for now. So the cutlass is going to have a value next to it that says it's damage. So go ahead and roll that, and we will. So it's 8 points of damage because it's a swarm. They take half damage from that, so they take 4 points of damage. But because of Brody's alchemist fire, that is actually enough to disperse that swarm.
Whew, okay.
Nice.
Sorry for the
No problem at all. So
insanity, y'all.
that's something I can help you out with updating that after the
Okay.
game or before the next time we play or something in the middle.
Okay.
Amaranth,
Thank you.
it's your turn. Amaranth, don't forget that I'm sorry, both Ophelia and Amaranth each need to take 1 point of damage. You take a point of damage at the beginning of your turn when you're bleeding.
Sure. You mentioned before, and I have already forgotten. How can I stop bleeding? Oh, that's a heal thing. Never
It's a
mind. Not
heal
worried
check.
about that right now.
Yep.
So question on like the number and type of actions. So with my tail, I can grab something that is stowed away as a swift action. Would you say that
That's
I could
right.
also?
Yeah, you do. What
Would
is
you
it you're
say
gonna
that
do
I
with
could
your tail?
also give it? So like if I tried to swiftly grab the potion that I got earlier, would you say that I could give that also as a swift action, or would that
So
take my
what
whole
the tail
action?
does, so the idea is that it takes a move action to reach into your bag and pull something out, and then it takes
Right.
the action portion of your turn to use it. What your tail's going to do is your tail's as a swift action is going to take the pulling the item out of the equation. So
Mm-hmm.
your tail is going to reach in your bag, and grab the item, toss it into your hand, and you're
Okay.
still going to have your movement and your action on your turn because that swift action is what does the item retrieval. So
Okay.
on your turn you can move and do an action.
So I would like the action to be giving Brody the potion. Can I? How does like if I wanted to move but also drag Brody with me? Is that like moving at half or?
Yep, so what you're going to do is, as your action, you're going to pour the potion into Brody's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's a good potion. I'm sure it is.
No,
It's
it
not
was
like
it
a
was a cure. It
like a,
was light wounds.
a
You said it
potion
was
of
light wounds.
harm. Like, don't worry, I'll help you,
No,
buddy.
no, you linked it. It's a light. It's a cure, sir.
Yep, so you're going to pour the potion into his mouth as an action. And then for your movement, you're going to make a strength check to pull him with you at half of your speed.
Can I interrupt briefly?
Of course.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but giving a potion to an unconscious character is technically a full round action.
Okay.
So you can still, as a swift action, pull the potion out with your tail. And then you can use the rest of your entire round to pour it into Brody's mouth.
Okay.
And you also still have a 5-foot step, so you could move yourself out of the swarm if you wanted to.
Earlier, whenever you said the thing about how you die in Pathfinder, did you say Constitution modifier or Constitution score?
Your Constitution score.
Okay, then I will give Brody the potion and 5-foot step out. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I guess so for the healing on that, do you want me to just roll my spell and then take out whatever bonus I would normally get from casting it?
So it's a Cure Light Wounds, which has so it's a Cure Light Wounds potion, so it has a +3 modifier on it, which is probably going to be higher than the one that you can currently do yourself. So it might be worth it to use the what is your modifier a plus? Yours is a +1. So go ahead and
So
just add
that's
another.
actually so 9 total.
Yeah, so Brody, you're healed for 9 points of damage.
Okay.
But he can't go over his maximum, right?
He cannot go over his maximum.
So I'm back to 5.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Welcome back.
Brody's
Welcome
back!
You're still in a swarm of bats, and I have left you.
I just wake up like, ah!
What a fucking nightmare.
Surprise, surprise, Brody. Actually, it is your turn right now.
Oh, fuck yeah, get out of there.
Hey, I had a ready to action.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so
I'm
hold on a second, Brody. Squall had a ready to action. Go ahead and
Um,
his action activates because what he described he was waiting for it to happen has happened.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no!
Well,
Oh,
if he aims
Brody.
at a different square, you'll only take 1 point
I'm
of
gonna
damage.
aim for
You're gonna
this
be
right
okay.
intersection right here.
Tried to get you out of there.
So roll your range attack.
That was range attack.
Nice.
Yep, that hits. So go ahead and so it does. I believe it does 1 splash damage
It does
to
1
the.
splash damage to the swarm, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So the swarm is still up. Okay,
Does it do
Brody.
any damage to Brody?
No, I deliberately aimed at this intersection so that it wouldn't hit Brody.
So they're gonna move on me regardless of what I do. I'm just going to.
So you're laying on the ground prone.
Yeah.
So you have to stand up. You need to spend half of your movement to go from prone to standing. Now, something important is usually if you're prone next to an enemy and you stand up, that provokes an attack of opportunity. Because a swarm doesn't have an attack of opportunity, you can stand up and move away without provoking. But it's something to keep in mind for the future that in order to do that, an enemy would get a free attack on you.
Right.
Could you throw
What I
that
was saying,
fire
because
thing?
regardless of where I go, they're probably gonna follow me. So I'm just gonna fire my crossbow into the swarm.
Um,
Can I not?
no, I was just gonna say the best option for us right at the moment is to split up so that the swarm can't be on two of us at once.
Okay.
So just move.
So you still have 15 feet of movement left because you used half to stand up.
So
Okay.
moving like here or up here might be good, just so the swarm can't be on both you and Amaranth at the same time.
Okay. And so I can move there and then still attack, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You still have an attack action on your turn. So you used half your movement to stand up. You have half your movement remaining,
Okay.
and you still have an action on your turn.
Okay. And yeah, light crossbow.
So the arrow pierces through the swarm and comes out the other side, and it's unclear if it took anything out with it. Fishbone, you are underwater. I think so. You can hold your
Fishbone.
you can hold your breath for like a number of rounds equal to like your Constitution modifier, like doubled or something like that. So you can just stay under there pretty much for the entire combat if you want. Is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
I think I'm treading water and watching the action.
Okay.
There's no fire near me, right? Like the torch is with Brody.
The torch probably is on the ground actually somewhere right now. It like kind of dropped when Brody dropped. So I'm gonna say it's on the ground somewhere under the swarm.
And it would take a pretty special roll to like use my short bow to like hit the torch and then deflect up into the air and light the
So
swarm.
the tricky thing is, so on the map, this right here, this is kind of the middle ground, this low sandy area, with this being 5 feet above that and this being 5 feet below that. So you're a full 10 feet down from where the swarm is right now. So I don't think you can really see anything that's going on up there. Does that make sense? Like where the different sections
It
of land are
does.
intersecting
I
the
would
terrain
like
there?
to shoot an arrow and just yell fishbone and just shoot the arrow up toward where the action is.
Sure, go ahead and roll the hit. If you roll a 1, you are going to hit a friend.
I'm not gonna roll a
No.
1.
You can do it, Fishbone. I believe in you.
Do I roll Stinger or do I roll something else?
You click Stinger.
Okay.
Come on, Fishbone.
So you did not hit an ally, but you also did not hit a bat that you're
But
around.
I did try,
Blah blah
so
blah
they can't hold it
blah.
against me.
I'm
Okay,
contributing.
the bat swarm is up. So the bat swarm is gonna make a random decision on who to go after. So there's 4 people around it. So Squall 1, Brody 2, Amaranth 3, Ophelia 4.
God damn
2
it.
is Brody. Buzz, buzz,
Ah!
buzz, 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 buzz.
Oh.
Brody, you take 3 points of damage and you are bleeding.
Ah!
Oh.
We couldn't have just filled the barrels.
Ophelia is next. Ophelia, make sure you take 1 point of damage at the beginning of your turn because you're bleeding.
Okay. And how do I take 1 point of damage?
Right here.
The current?
Yeah.
To
Change that to
6?
6.
All right. Can I start to investigate what these boxes are?
We're in the middle of combat. I am getting attacked by bats.
Yeah, but maybe there's something in there that can
Also,
help
you're
us.
kind of bleeding.
Oh, that's true. But also, I don't want to fight the bats because I'm currently bleeding.
Your team is fighting the bats.
Yeah, but I'm in this cove.
So you do have a couple options here for what you could do for your turn. So with your 30 feet of movement, You are able to get to any of these squares.
Okay.
You're also able to get down to any of these squares. So you've got lots of distance that you can travel right now. That's just one movement action, and you one movement, and then you will
Yeah.
still have an action on your turn. If you were to double move, just to give you an idea of how far you can go, a double move would go all the way out to here. So you can see that
Okay.
you got lots of range
So
for what you can
here's the
do.
thing. I am
You are
current.
bleeding.
Yeah, I'm currently at 6 of 13.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if it is more worthwhile for me and the team to look at what's in these boxes rather than going and trying to fight these uh, bats. But
So
I mean, is there
the,
anything that I have, because I am a fighter and I'm not used to being a fighter in these things, that
mhm.
I could create damage for the bats?
Yeah, you can
Sure.
hit them.
So what I would say, if you're asking for my opinion, I would say that you have kind of two actions that you could take here. What you could do is you could use your action to bandage yourself and stop your bleeding so that you stop losing health every turn. And
Okay.
then you'll still have that ability to move down to these crates or move over to the swarm for your next turn. Or if you're feeling aggressive, because you did just kill a different swarm, if you're feeling aggressive, you could move to here to any of these squares and
Yeah.
attack the swarm with your cutlass if you wanted to. Also, you have a teammate that's here that's also bleeding. So if you were feeling um,
Can I heal
altruistic,
her?
you could come up and you could bandage her up, which would give her her full turn to do whatever she needs to do. Or what you can do is you can move down here and you can investigate these crates if you think there might be something valuable in there that could help you in the fight. That's a possibility. You could also, if you wanted to, you could get all the way out and just
Way
freaking run
far away.
away. Just run. Just
Okay.
double. You can run at run. You can move 4 times your speed if you run. You can get all the way back to the ship
All
and
right.
just
If
paddle
I
away.
if I bandage Amaranth,
Hmm.
can I still attack? That's like kind of my thing. Like I
Yep.
move and
So,
bandage her, and then I can't cutlass
so
bats.
here it's a little bit tricky, and I know it's a little bit tricky. So let me just mention how the movement portion of this works. If you
Hmm.
move to here and then take an action, you can't move any further. So this would be a 5 foot step,
Yeah.
and then you take an action, which would mean that you can do an additional action in place of a movement if you have something that can be done in place of a movement, which would be like pulling out an item, or I think that's
But if
pretty
I
much it
move
right now.
to
Just attack
So
bats.
let me
here,
let me ask you a question. Did you find healing potions on the ship in the first session? Do you remember?
no, I
So
didn't.
are you sure? I think in the very first session, I think you may have found a couple of healing potions on the ship when you were investigating.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Jay says it does, so I guess.
You
I
used
don't
one
know.
on Fishbone.
I used one on Fishbone. Okay.
So I would say you have three really, really good options here for your turn. Your options are you can bandage yourself,
Hmm.
you can bandage Amaranth, or you
Hmm.
can attack the swarm. And I would say those are probably the three best options right now for yourself and for the whole group.
Okay.
And any one of those would be really good.
I guess I will, since it affects everybody, I will attack the swarm.
Okay, go ahead and move
So
yourself
I'll
over there.
move over here. And then I do the cutlass thing.
Yep, that hits. And 6 damage is reduced in half, so it's 3 damage. So the swarm, you've done a lot of damage to the swarm. It's still around, not quite dead yet, but you definitely has far, far, far fewer bats than it had before.
And do
And
I
the
take
only
any
other
damage?
nope. So the only other thing I was about to say was
Okay.
that you don't have to be in the swarm to make that attack. You can be next to it. As long as you're adjacent to it, you can make the attack.
Okay.
Which brings us to Amaranth's turn. Amaranth, you are up. So Amaranth, please take a point of damage from bleeding.
Oh balls.
Sorry,
Okay.
Amaranth.
No, don't apologize. Let's see. There we go. guess since it worked well before, I'll try and Stormburst the swarm again just to see if we can get rid of it and get our shit together. Does that sound good?
Sounds like a good plan.
Great.
That hits.
Does at least 1 damage kill it?
Woo!
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay then.
And that disperses the swarm.
You did
Nice
it!
job.
I'm so
Okay,
proud of
so
us.
it's exactly 11:58 right now. So what I'm going to suggest we do is I'm going to suggest that what happens next is these guys all take a second to bandage each other or themselves up so they're not bleeding out. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll stop the session now while we're mid exploration in this cave. And next time we all get back together again, hopefully we'll have Harker with us. Harker can come in fresh, and there's another half of a cave to explore here,
Yeah.
which can contain more bats? Question mark? Maybe. I don't know. There could be bats. Maybe it'll be a swarm of something else. It could be rats.
Fishbone, get up here before the end of the session.
It could be a piranhas. That's what I should have done. Is I should have had piranhas in the pool with Fishbone. That would have been
Please
perfect.
have piranhas and not bats.